Welcome back, self-educated entrepreneur. Today, talk a little bit about the industry I have been longly in, career-wise, and that is this here. So I've been at this since 1986 with a 14-year pause, and I came back in 2014 as I'd explained before. As I'm in my mid-50s, I wanted to have an exit strategy to step away from this trucking industry. Down the road, I didn't want to be the old guy still going at it out here. So that's where the entrepreneurship and getting into business and having different avenues of income stream, especially in fields where I can still do it when I'm 75, 80 and beyond. I just don't see myself, I don't want to say retired, but I want to stay active. So I'm going to go over a couple articles that would pretty much put me on the fence of breaking me into this industry as far as walking away. And it's from Truck Spy, so I'll put the links down below. So it's why trucking companies are installing AI dash cams. And the big thing that they want to implement is inward facing dash cams into the trucks. So they're watching you with audio. And they're saying in the article, as I went through it, they're saying that this is not because of insurance. Let me just go over the one paragraph of this article. The primary purpose of installing dash cams for trucks is not for insurance reasons. Rather, the biggest reason companies are investing in them is because of accident attorneys. And that I will agree. Every billboard in any state you go through, at least for me here in the Midwest, it's got an attorney up there. Have you been hurt, injured by a big truck? You know, call the hammer. Well, I disagree with that. And I think what they're doing is because they're going after the money in these big companies. And I will say, after talking to a few people today before I got on here, Tesla definitely has cameras all the way around their cars, so they definitely can tap into it in litigation and look to see, because I think the automotive side, those people should be also held accountable, instead of like, I was drunk, I ran a stop sign and the truck had the right of way hit me, but they find fault in some minute thing that the driver did, and all of a sudden that person comes out winning. And it just baffles me to the point, it just infuriates me to the point of, you know, bring the autonomous trucks on then. You know, then what do you got? Go after the company, the software, what? I mean, have fun. So, continuing on with that article, and sunlight here. In fact, jury settlements average around $22 million, with roughly 50% of that going to the accident attorney. Dash cams provide video evidence to use in court cases that could save a trucking company from having to pay out hefty settlements. The bottom line is that AI dash cams offer a greater level of protection for trucking companies by providing valuable video evidence in case of an accident. They also offer potential to prevent accidents in the first place, saving time and money in the long run. Now, I get that. If I was owning a trucking company, I would probably implement that safety system in there, given the fact that I'm an older driver. You know, I've been at this since 1986. These kids that are coming in now, I want to say they don't possess so much the skills. We were more situational awareness growing up because we weren't looking down at these phones. We didn't video game when we had downtime, we went outside, we did things, we were active outside. We rode motorcycles, bicycles, we swam, we walked to our friends. We didn't have where you sat for hours, you know, and getting deconditioned, you know, in front of video games or computers. So I'm just making that point. Now, here's the flip side that hits the article that hits me, that I about fell at my knees laughing at this. So the follow-up article to that is, don't worry, the next blog, don't worry, drivers won't quit if you install inward-facing cameras. Because, and I'm not going to go through that whole article, in the sense that what they're saying there is that drivers are going to feel that the company is showing transparency and safety for the drivers. I'm going to tell you right now, when I first started driving truck in the 80s, yeah, the trucks were a pile of junk and they were so unsafe that nowadays, my last truck was probably going to the heap yard and it would have been considered a brand spanking new truck at 550,000 miles last summer. But now you get a 500,000 miles on these trucks, and these companies are like, well, we got to get new trucks. They're losing value. I mean, they're looking at everything on these trucks in that sense of being able to, if it's a lease truck or a company truck where they need to sell and get that resale to up to a new truck. And that just wasn't the case back then. You ran everything in the ground. You had mechanics. You fixed it even as you did routes. You just fixed it on the fly. But now that doesn't seem to be the case. And I get it. I mean, I am comfortable driving this new truck. I'm not excited driving it. It's definitely not my flavor of truck to drive, but hey, it gets me A to B, gets the route, I pull a paycheck. At the end of the week, I'm like, I'm in it for the paycheck. And, you know, my cowboy days of having the big shiny bling bling and the hooded trucks is long past me now. I'm looking forward to writing the next book on something new and exciting, getting into my businesses and building them. And it's been exciting building them out. But I just wanted to bring these articles because a lot of people have asked me along the way why you have such a good stable job. And I do have a good stable job. I'm not knocking anything with this company. What I'm saying is, it's not the company, it's the DOT regulations, it's the rules, the policies, the laws. This truck is GPSed. It has got an ELD, electronic log data. It's now they're talking about cameras. How much more babysitting do I need out here driving these trucks? And here's the other thing, is not only driving these trucks, but keep maintaining and keeping your license, your health, because I have to go quarterly meetings, renew my license, my hazmat, background check, fingerprint, the whole kit and caboodle on that part. Besides, now here's the interesting part. Now I'm gonna have a debate with this right now with you folks. Every 2 years I got to go in for a physical medical check, everything, blood pressure, all that jazz, and then drug and alcohol testing. And then in between those 2 years of getting my medical card, I have random federal medical drug and alcohol testing. So with the drug and alcohol testing, it you know, you got to stop the truck out on the road and go get yourself tested at a center appointed, or when I get back in, hey, here's the paperwork, go down and get a random drug or alcohol test. Now my comeback to that is, all right, a lot of these manufacturing companies and all that jazz, I think that when there's a vehicular accident and that person's at fault, whether the truck is at fault or not, or the truck or car is at fault regardless. I think both parties should have a drug and alcohol test. And if they deny it, then it's going to be on them. So I shouldn't have to be the one to go through all that. And the second thing is, I worked 10 years in healthcare. I'm going to tell you what right now, doctors, nurses, techs, lawyers that I've seen through that healthcare, no drug and alcohol test. I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of young nurses come in with hangovers. I'd like to know if my thoracic surgeon, my brain surgeon, did he go out and hit up some THC? Did he smoke a joint? Did he just come in from having a night out? You know, and he's in for emergency heart surgery or something? I want to know. So yes, I think they should implement drug and alcohol testing right across the board on all the professional levels, up to even politicians. So if I got to go through it to be out here to drive this truck, well, damn it, so should they. And it just really pisses me off about that. And that's where I draw the line. And the day I get that financial freedom and I get things rolling, and when I can say, hey, I'm waving my hand, I'm going to say I'm done driving. And then, like I said, it's not to this company, it's the fact that it's the world around it that have saturated us and over-regulated us to the point you can't breathe out here, let alone holding a fart like a tick's ass, because everyone's got you under a microscope all day long, all through your road. So I think it's belittling a lot of folks. Now the kids may like it, well, you know, because I think a lot of kids that get into this industry in their 20s, going to truck driving school and that, I think most of them are so dumbed down anyways. They don't have no mechanical sense, no mechanical skills. They don't know what the hell, they got to be taught in truck driving school what they're looking at, whether it's a tire, a dipstick to check the oil, the coolant, lights. I mean, these kids, they're not too mechanically inclined or savvy on any of that stuff. And it's just, it just behooves me. And you will see a lot like me being a diesel mechanic and a truck driver. But but Jesus, a lot of these kids have just come into this industry as of late in the last 10, 15 years. And especially the foreigners that are coming out of Canada. There is a lot of immigrants that have landed in Canada, especially in the Ontario side, coming down here. And wow. And I did see an article where they're like, the Canadian drivers are the worst. I don't know if it's just their level of education or what on the truck driving side, but I'm gonna say this. It's just to see them, their left leg cocked up on the dash, they got the phone in their hand, and I do see that on a commercial truck. My phone's locked. It's locked, or I put it in my duffel bag, but it's never unlocked. It's never in reach where I can grab it and physically hold it. So but it's just, these kids are like, I'm bored driving. Yes, we're all bored driving, and I'm sorry, but that's part of driving. You need to go to A to B and either listen to some music, listen to an audiobook, but their attention span has just diminished, where, you know, you just see this Gen Z and millennials, I just don't want to sit and drive. It's too much. Well, take a plane, pay someone to drive you. So that's where my rant is today, and that's why I eventually am working towards stepping away from this vehicle. And like I said, nothing against the company, it's just in the future I can just see this getting worse and worse as they're weeding us out, bringing in the autonomous. They're going to change by the end of this decade. Logistics, the way the load board on getting loads and moving freight, the margins are going to be tight. I mean tight. So you're going to see, and I'm seeing truck lots coming down through Indiana and Ohio today. I'm in Barboursville, West Virginia right now, but most of the Class 8 big semi-truck lots are filling up a lot. And it's not only just companies going under, but a lot of guys are getting out of those hooded Kenworth, Peterbilts. They're getting out of the shiny trucks and they're getting into more like I've got here, which is a Freightliner Cascadia, a more fuel efficient truck. So that's what they're suggesting to go to, because mileage on your truck, fuel, the price of fuel, and a lane, because they're going from a static like load board, and they're going to more of a dynamic like Uber, dynamic. Well, I'll bring this up in another video, but basically they're presetting it. This is what the load pays to go from, say, Dallas, Texas to Savannah, Georgia. This is what it pays. There's no negotiating on it. Take it or leave it. It's already calculated what the fuel's going to cost on the route, the miles. It's already set the route and the route you're going to take to get there, this and that, because the shippers are tightening up their margins because they paid so much out during the scamdemic that they've overpaid so many drivers. Drivers were coming in and making just mega bucks, like $7 a mile. Now they want to get it down to around, on an average, $1.80, $2 a mile on average. And it's just tightening up a lot of guys' profits, especially with the influx of diesel fuel. So like I said, is this an industry you want to get in as an independent contractor, owner, operator in that? You can. You better have a business mind. You better know your numbers of what your truck's going to cost you in miles, to operate. So know your numbers and know the numbers you need to make a profit, to clear, to pay your bills at home. Because if the truck's just clearing to pay itself and you can't pay yourself after that, that's where these trucks are stacking up at these dealer lots. These guys they're losing money because they miscalculated. And a lot of these guys, you can drive a truck all day long. You can get a truck driver, but that's only about a quarter of it. The other 3/4 of it is being a businessman. So like I said, know your numbers and just know what you need to have in this industry. I wouldn't go into it outside of what I'm doing right now. Too much stress. I mean, if I think just running the little businesses I got is stressful, just having a truck and trying to keep a profit going on it, yeah, you won't sleep worth a hill of beans. So just pointing that out, but that's where I stand. Until next time, folks, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.